Welcome back, everybody, to day 4 of the Embodied Wisdom Challenge, which
Yeah.
don't shoot the messenger.
Hello. It's really great to be back here with you all. We've been getting some great comments and things on Facebook, which we're very appreciative of because it helps us understand where you're at and what's going on.
Totally. Thank you, everybody.
And today is really all about empathy and love. So
oh no.
we're going to have a little love fest here today.
Yeah, so today we're going to go a little bit deeper with what we've been doing. So if this is the first day that you're joining us, it's okay. Come on for a ride, but you might want to go back and step by step, because the steps we'll be taking today will go in deeper in the previous ones. So actually, for anybody here, it'd be great to hear. First of all, let us know you're here in the comments. Just say hi. And if, kind of where you're at on the challenge, because some people are a little bit behind maybe. And also if you have any questions at all that we can address today, because we're going to set aside some time at the end of the session today to answer any questions.
Great. So what I would like to do, are you waving to somebody come on? I'm just trying to find my way here. Oh, here we go. Okay, great. Do you want to, so basically we covered a lot over the last few days, right? We're kind of, normally we would spread this out over the last few weeks.
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that when I'm working with somebody or working with the class, then we do each of these steps really kind of, and then practice it for a week. Break it up a little bit differently, but practice it for a week so people really get a chance to practice and then come back and we can work on the details about how to kind of take it further. So just know that it's fine. You're getting what you're getting and it's fine, but this really comes from practice, because the one way to say it is you're finding something that's already built into you. But we've been so, when we're children, watch a child, they're very much in this world. It's very facile for them to go into that world of imagination. And it's been sort of trained out of us, but it still exists. So we're picking up the bicycle of using our imagination and learning how to ride it again. And it's a little wobbly for a little bit, but it comes back pretty quickly if you just keep practicing.
Fantastic. So we thought to mix things up a little bit today, and we're going to start out with you just tuning in right now to what you're coming to this lesson with. What's your state? What's your state of mind? Where's your body at? What does it feel like? Are there, kind of assumptions about maybe what you're going to learn or how you're going to feel, or that it's going to be hard or easy or boring or exciting? Whatever that state is that you're in is totally fine. It's just recognizing it, being aware of it. And you can even put it there in the comments on Facebook. And now, once you've kind of just tuned in, and it can only takes a couple of seconds to do that, give yourself permission to be here now. It's just a short period of time. There's nothing else you have to do. Give yourself permission to just completely focus on this and drop everything else. So to help you with that, I'm going to walk you through the breathing that we have done over the last few days. What I want you to feel is just get it into a comfortable position. You want to be sitting straight up, but relaxed. You want to start again by exhaling through the mouth, just a big, you can even make a sound. A lot of people just go, oh, big sigh. You just get rid of a lot of the excess carbon dioxide that's in your lungs, and then take the next breath, just a big joyful inhalation through the nose to just feel your whole body just expanding easily. Exhale out through your nose. So again, just do this at your own pace. And when you're on the exhalation, really release. You want to feel that exhalation is a deep, comforting release. It's easy. You're letting go of everything. You're making sure that you're relaxed and you're not holding on to anything. You're just allowing that exhalation to help you let go, just like we did in day one. On the inhalation, you're allowing again the breath to come in. You're allowing receptivity, acceptance. You're allowing yourself to be gifted. Receiving can often be harder than giving. So allow yourself to be gifted in this moment. Allow yourself to be blessed with the breath on that inhalation. Allow yourself, see if there isn't a little bit of joy in that experience of receiving. And then on the exhalation again, just let go of it all, even the joy. You just let go of it all. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to be worried about. Just let it all go. Sometimes at the bottom of that exhalation, there's just a moment of stillness. You're not breathing in, you're not breathing out. It's just stillness. And you can enjoy that as well. So what you can find during this process of breathing in and breathing out, it's the most natural thing in the world. There's so much joy and happiness in the simplicity of it. You're just allowing these things to happen. You may not feel this right now, and it's not necessarily something you even have to look for, but be curious about this experience that you're having and the potential for it to carry you, to support you, to open up a door to light, joy, happiness, love, empathy. So now, as you start to come back to this moment, not necessarily, you don't have to focus on the breath anymore. If you don't want to, you can allow it to just be. Notice if you're in a different state, if you're in a different awareness or attention, if there's a different focus. Is there more curiosity about what's about to happen? It's all good. You can also post that in the comments.
Great. So now we're going to shift gears, but I'm going to ask you to bring all of that with you as we start to engage your mind a little more. So today we're going to go deeper with what we've already been doing. So we started with the idea that our body contains wisdom that's waiting for us to come and find it by listening to it, by engaging with it, by communicating and having a relationship with it. So we talked about the first step of letting go. So Catherine just took us through an exercise. It's one way to do that. And maybe you experienced, it's not the only way, there's many ways, but the idea is whatever is going on, you just let it go. Create space. Let your ideas, your concerns, your fears, your beliefs, just put them aside for a little bit. And then we go in to listen to what this body with its own language and own way of communicating with us has to say. And then we're there to receive it. We create the space for us to actually receive something that, particularly for now, may not make any sense and may be unclear to us, but to just allow it to allow ourselves to receive it. Today, we're going to take this a step further in what we call empathizing, of actually allowing enough, being there enough, long enough, deep enough, with enough intention, and we keep clearing the space that communication that our body has for us can really hit something deeply in us, can hit something down at the core of us. We can get the core of what our body is trying to tell us. The thing that gets in the way, that the added part we're adding today, we've actually talked about before, which is these ideas, these beliefs, these opinions. So it's come up in some of the comments. This is totally normal. What people are saying is that what happens is we start to lean in and get this new information. And then very quickly, the mind comes in and says, yes, I see, I've got it now. Now I just have to do this. Yes, I see it. I won't do that anymore. So there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But if we hold on to that, like now we found the answer, now I'm going to go back to the same old way and just do it. We miss the deeper messages. We miss the deeper communication that our body's trying to say, to show us, that would actually get down to the core and bring resolution to it. So today is about taking everything we've learned and we keep using it as we lean in. We keep using it as we lean in until our body begins to really feel and sense the presence that we really deeply want to know. We're not merely just trying to look for the solution to the problem so we can feel better, which is a different motivation. That's about kind of us. Got it now, now I'm going to go do it. Versus no, what's really going on here? Catherine?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen and it says time delay.
Yeah. So, because Catherine has a story to help to bring this into kind of more day-to-day stuff to help us to see maybe what it is that we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's a common experience. I like to use experiences that probably most of us have had to highlight how this works. So I think everyone has probably had this experience where you go to a store, a grocery store, and you're in a hurry, you're trying to get things, and then there's some child having a blowout somewhere. They're like completely melting down. And then there's the mom or the dad or whatever's going on. And I know from my own experience, oftentimes sometimes you're just like, oh my God, that kid is so spoiled. It probably just wants some candy or something. And look at the mother. The mother is doing nothing to help that. The mother is so stupid. And a lot of very harsh judgments can come up very quickly, even if we tend to quell them because we know they're not nice and all that kind of stuff. A lot of our gut response to that is shut that kid up. Just shut him up or her up. She's like, doesn't, she's being bad. She's being wrong. The mom's being bad and wrong for not taking care of it in the right way. And they should just take care of this and not impose this mess on all of us here in the store. So this is often like a situation, if you think of it in terms of our bodies, something's going wrong with our bodies. And so we're like, oh my God, like even something like PMS, which most of us have had at one point or another, you're kind of going, why is this happening? This is not right. Just go away. Just, don't, the body's acting up. It shouldn't be acting this way. And then you feel also like, well, what am I doing wrong? Why is it behaving this way? What's wrong with me that I'm having this problem with my body? And especially when it comes to women's issues, it's like there's so much stuff around all of this. And so we make our bodies wrong, we make ourselves wrong. It's the way we're conditioned. It's not it's not really a flaw in us. It's just the way that our society trains us to be. So imagine though a different scenario where you walk into this store and you see an old friend and she's there with her kid and her kid is crying and having a meltdown. But this woman, her husband's in the hospital, having heart surgery. She's in danger of losing her job, and so you go up to her and you say, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong with Susie here? Did she get hurt? Is there any way I can help? And you feel compassion because you're like, oh my God, I know, what's going on for this lady. And here she now has to deal with, her child who's obviously very unhappy. And so there's a kind of care and compassion and empathy that you have because you understand the backstory, you understand who this person is. And the same kind of thing can happen for yourself. We've made this separation between you, whoever that is, and your body, to kind of help you understand the dynamic more. And if you, through this process of letting go of just these ideas about being bad, wrong, not enough, not good enough, and whatever other ideas are there, through your interest in listening and beginning to hear the messages that are coming to you, through developing a kind of receptivity to the messages that you're getting, you can start to understand a little bit more the backstory, bring who you are, like what's going on for you, what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your limitations and challenges are. And then look at the body and think, oh, look at what the body has to deal with. Oh my God, this is a big lift, for anybody, let alone this body, right? So you can start to bring all of those things together and find that there's this budding love. There's a kind of intimacy that comes from that kind of openness and vulnerability, kind of intimacy that normally we reserve for the people outside of us. We could be applying that to ourselves.
Beautiful. So now we're going to go on a little journey, similar to what we did yesterday, to kind of practice what it is that we're talking about here, of really kind of deeply listening and with care, concern, wanting to kind of get to the bottom of something rather than just trying to get something unpleasant over. Those are very different places to listen from. Actually because we understand there's more there than meets the eye, we want to get to the bottom of it. Because the thing is, when we really get to the bottom of something, as we see more and more, that seeing changes us. That seeing presents solution. It's the seeing that does so much of the work, because it changes us. And then therefore, how we are when we go to do something is different. What we choose to go and do is different, because we've been changed by that process of seeing deeply in some way or another. So I invite you to close your eyes, and we're going to do a journey like yesterday, but for time, we're going to make this a little more quick, but it's basically the same as yesterday, where I took each step a little more slowly, so you can look back at that yesterday. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just get comfortable and just take a deep breath and tell yourself, I let go. I let go. And now you've learned some skills and tools to be able to do that. I let go. And now bring to mind that particular situation that you've dedicated these 5 days to seeking resolution for. Just bring it to mind. Bring to mind all that you know and you feel about it, all that you've seen in the last few days. Even those things maybe you've seen that feel really crucial and important, I'm going to invite you now to just let them go. Because all of this stuff will get in the way of seeing deeper. Beautiful. Now ask your body to show you where it has more information for you in your pursuit of resolution. And allow your body to show you where to come and meet it there. Again, if you don't feel or sense that anything is sticking out, ask yourself, if my body were to show me where to go, where would that be? And trust the first thing that comes to your mind and take your attention there. Beautiful. Now begin communicating with this part of your body with interest, with care, with concern. Not merely just to find out what's wrong so you can run away and go fix it, but to really be there for your body right now. Really be there, make yourself available to sense, to hear, to know, to somehow just know what it's communicating to you. And then with whatever is there right now, including maybe your doubt, including maybe that amazing gem you just got, let it go for now and lean in a little further. It's right there for you to pick up again in a minute, but for now, let it go and lean in a little further. Ask another question. Tell your body that you're here. Tell me more. How do I best respond? With interest, with care, and concern. You just continue making yourself more available, opening up and listening, receiving the information that comes in whatever form it comes, whether it makes sense to you right now or not. And you express empathy by saying, I hear that. I get that. Tell me more. And feel how amazing it is to have somebody ask you, tell me more. I really want to know. Give that gift to this deeper part of you. Beautiful. So now begin to close off this particular communication. Say goodbye like you would to a dear friend, even a new friend that you feel positively inclined towards. And begin to make your way back to where we started, back to where you gave yourself permission to go on this journey and to just take a little bit of time out of your day to check in with this deeper part of yourself. And thank yourself for having done this for yourself. Beautiful. Good job, everybody. I'd be really curious to hear what it is that you've discovered in the comments or later on Facebook today. Is just do this again today. All of this can happen in a minute.
Yeah.
It can be great if you have more time, but in just a minute.
It's really amazing, I find, is just how quickly, how far and how deep you can go, how quickly. And I think the idea that you need a lot of time or a particular amount of space, to do this, you can quickly see how, well, okay, maybe not. Maybe this is actually more accessible than I thought. So
we really know how to do this. This is the thing. And it's giving ourselves permission, thinking about, like the little kid, the last little kid you saw who was learning how to walk or learning how to ride a bike or learning how to hit a baseball or do whatever, is like, it's like we allow them and they allow themselves to not feel comfortable doing it, etc. And so it's just to give ourselves the gift of not feeling comfortable for a little while until we find that place in us that is quite familiar when you're there. You kind of realize it's like there's something about it you can't say why, because you're in another part of yourself for a moment. And so it's there, but it's just giving ourselves permission, which means it's why this letting go that we keep coming back to, that Catherine took us through, is really critical, because otherwise, if we try to do any of this holding on to too much, it's just impossible, because the things we're holding on to are things like, I can't do this, for instance. Mm-hmm. This is too hard, etc., etc.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because it doesn't have to happen all at once. Like I was speaking with someone the other day and they were saying how they had this realization like, oh, I can go as fast or slow as I want to. I can dictate how I receive this information, how I, you don't have to just suddenly be like, and then, get way too much than you're ready for. And I think with the breath, it's very interesting because the breath really allows you to receive according to your capacity. It allows you to let go according to your capacity. And it can really teach you how to moderate. There's no limitation on what you can do, and and it can happen according to your ability or your desire to learn. There's nothing wrong with taking things slowly. In fact, when you take things slowly, a lot of times more can happen for you in that process than if you try to get things done fast, fast, fast. So especially when you're talking about falling in love with yourself again, with your body, about developing empathy. This is not like a thing like that. It's developing an intimate relationship with yourself. The same as that would take time with anybody, it's going to take that time with yourself as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And something I realized I didn't mention, but particularly when people are first starting to learn this stuff, I really like to say, keep it playful. I mean, playful, curious. It's just that sense of a child exploring, that kind of a sense. And because it's so easy for us when we get grown up and adult and think we got to do it right. And there's a right way, there's a wrong way. And then we get into this whole place, which in that place is part of what's preventing this. So we have to kind of and it really is just say, like we did say, I'm giving myself the time to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go in to stay out of that place in ourselves, which we always find ourselves in. But it's just like kind of keep pushing it aside. I need a solution. I need to do this right. And whatever way that shows up. No, we're just looking. And it's not to make light of something that may to you, because some people on these challenges are doing stuff that's, really been a difficulty in their life. So it's not about making light of difficulty, but it's what gives us the key to open up the door to get into that part of us that we're trying to guide everybody into. Yes. And because that kind of worry and concern doesn't go in that door to open up that world. So we got to, at least for some period of time, just say, look, all of that, I'm going to set it aside for a little bit. I'm giving 5 minutes, I'm giving 10 minutes, and I'm going to go in this room, meaning in here, see what I can discover.
Right. There's an interesting thing. I noticed some of the comments here about from Diane and Andrea and receiving these messages, from the body or looking for resolution, right? And I know one of my business coaches actually, I remember hearing him coaching somebody else and saying, go take a shower. Because oftentimes you set an intention and you're ruminating on something and you're trying to get an answer, and the answer is not where you think it's going to be. See, you're using, and to get it, you often need to use a different part of your brain or your body to sense and connect with the answer. I'm just saying in a different way, everything that Daniel just said. And so sometimes if you just go and do something where your mind can wander, and then suddenly something will come to you, and it'll be like, oh, I could do that. And it's something completely different than what you would have come to if you had just forced your mind to just chew on it and chew on it and chew on it. And so sometimes I'll go out to the garden and wander around and pick weeds. And all of a sudden, the thing that I was working on, I'll go, oh, great idea. And I'll go back and it'll take me in a totally different direction. So you can use the breath, you can use these guided meditations that we're giving you, these guided visualizations that Daniel's walking you through. You can also get yourself in that state by setting an intention and just going off and doing something a little bit mindless. That this allows you to kind of wander and access this curious and playful state in a different way.
Yeah, there are parts of us that are not our brain. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of us that's not our brain.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's these other parts, I mean, to use physical, to talk about physicalness here, it's like, but there are other parts of us that are not our brain, and they have answers. So they have access to answers. And so just looking at what Andrea said about, my body said to love me and pay attention. And then it's like things like that. It's like, so just like the question that would come to me then would be like to think about asking your body, how would I do that you would really feel it? And so, because we're so, I mean, like I do this all the time to myself when I'm is like we so quickly assume what that means and what it's going to mean to respond to. And that you want to kind of keep going. Obviously, this isn't infinitely keep asking until the end of time and then drop dead. I'm not saying that at all. But to just see, it's like very quickly, there's words and sentences that we hear that make sense to us, and then we bring a whole world of meaning to it that aren't necessarily in that communication. So we want to keep asking. So keep going, you guys. And Diana and Andrea, it's really great. You both are really engaged. So thank you for the engagement, and keep going. It'll be really great to hear what you discover.
Yeah, wonderful. And just anyone who's listening to this later, I realize it's a work day for a lot of people, and so not everyone is available to see this live. Thank you for listening later, and you can still go on Facebook and post your comments. Even a week later, we're going to get those comments, and we will definitely get back to you. So good luck, everybody. Enjoy the ride.
Have fun. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow.